A single breath can decide between life and death. Every movement is a double-edged sword. There is no room for error, no mercy, only instinct. The quiet is not peace, it is the prelude to the storm. Every step is a gamble, every heartbeat a warning. The silence is so heavy it could suffocate the air itself. And when the wind changes direction, only one is permitted to survive. Among the world's great predators, few carry the weight of legend quite like the lion. With a body forged for power and a life shaped by both conflict and cooperation. Living in prides, yet governed by tension, the lion exists within a structure where survival depends on more than the group alone. The male lion holds power not through speed, but through presence. Its body is built for strength. Darker manes indicate higher testosterone and greater fitness, often attracting more mates. When one approaches a pride, he does not rush. He observes, waits, and moves with purpose. And as tensions mount, a new order begins to take shape. Within a pride, stability often conceals a quiet rivalry, for leadership, though accepted, is never uncontested. As lions reach full maturity, instinct drives them to seek status and control. In the forests and plains of Colombia, the struggle for survival plays out as an endless symphony. Here, the strong relentlessly pursue the weak, and every creature must adapt or perish. High above, The Andean condor soars like a messenger from the heavens, sent by the gods to cleanse the world of its impurities. Beneath the dense canopy, the jaguar moves with silent grace. Its eyes burn in the darkness, each step as light as a breath. In the murky waters of the Amazon, the colossal anaconda lies in wait, a patient shadow, never rushing, never making a mistake. Colombia is a battlefield of strategies, predators, and prey. Life and death are in constant embrace. Colombia, a land of mystery and wild blessings. Here, the majestic Andes embrace lush tropical forests. Here, the Amazon River flows, beating like the lifeblood of the continent. Colombia, a place where nature converges in majesty, where life is woven into complexity. In the northwestern corner of South America, Colombia stretches over a vast 440,000 square miles. Its landscape transforms like a symphony, from snow-capped mountain ranges to the golden shores of the Caribbean Sea. Colombia's biodiversity is like a thick book with thousands of unread chapters. If the rainforest is the lungs of the planet, then Colombia is Earth's deep, wild, and beautiful breath. With over 30,000 plant species, 1,950 bird species, and 500 mammal species recorded, much still remains to be discovered. At altitudes between 4,000 and 9,800 feet, the Andean cloud forests stretch across the slopes of the Andes. These verdant forests, suspended between earth and sky, are like a giant quilt, saturated with mist. This is an enchanted realm where the fog is not just a cold, drifting veil. It is a living shield. The Andean cloud forests are the lungs of the Andes, absorbing millions of pounds of CO2 each year and providing fresh water for millions. This is not only vital for human survival, but also home to countless rare species of plants and animals. Giant ferns, reaching heights of up to 30 feet, stand like solemn guardians of the forest. Clouds shroud the majestic peaks of the Andes, where the Andean condor soars through the sky like a formidable deity. With a wingspan of up to 10 feet, these birds ride the thermal updrafts rising from the valleys below. This giant bird is a living symbol of freedom and power, a sacred creature once revered by the Incas. The Andean condor has roamed these skies since prehistoric times. The indigenous cultures of South America held these birds in high esteem, weaving them into their mythologies. The species range extends from Colombia and Venezuela to the icy landscapes of Chile and Argentina. In Colombia, they nest on the sheer cliffs of the Andean cloud forests, a harsh yet vibrant environment. These nesting sites, thousands of feet high, are safe fortresses for their eggs and young. The towering Andes of Colombia are veiled in a thick blanket of clouds, where cold winds sweep across treacherous cliffs. This dramatic landscape is the stage for the Andean condor, the world's largest flying bird. With a wingspan of nearly 11 feet supporting their massive bodies, these birds glide effortlessly through the sky. Andean condors are not active hunters. Instead, these magnificent creatures are nature's cleaners. Their keen eyesight allows them to spot potential meals from miles away. From above, they soar like sentinels, observing every subtle movement below in the valleys. They survive on the carcasses of large animals such as deer, llamas, and sometimes livestock. By consuming these carcasses, they prevent the spread of disease, acting as nature's physicians. However, the majesty of the Andean condor does not shield it from modern threats. Habitat loss, primarily due to deforestation and agricultural expansion, has reduced their living space. Lead poisoning from ammunition used in hunting, which contaminates animal carcasses, causes painful neurological damage. The International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, lists the Andean condor as near threatened in Colombia. Beneath the canopy of the Andean cloud forests, where dense fog blankets the steep slopes, a vibrant festival of color unfolds. This is the world of the Andean cock of the rock, a bird known as the artist of the cloud forest. Adorned with brilliant crimson plumage and elaborate displays, they leave onlookers in awe. The Andean cock of the rock is a symbol of charm and mystery. With a large crescent-shaped crest resembling a royal crown, these birds measure up to 12 inches in length. Their vibrant plumage is not just for show, but is the ultimate weapon in the competition for attention. During their colorful courtship ritual, the males dance frenetically, flapping their wings and making strange calls. The Andean cock of the rock also plays a vital role as a seed disperser in the cloud forest. They feed on fruits from trees like figs and avocados, carrying the seeds far and wide, sowing new life. In the Andean cloud forest, where thick layers of mist cloak the landscape like a shroud, hummingbirds dart about. With over 147 recorded species, Colombia boasts the greatest diversity of hummingbirds in the world. These tiny creatures, some weighing less than 1/10 of an ounce, perform extraordinary ecological feats. At this incredible speed, hummingbirds hover like miniature drones. Their hearts, beating up to 1,200 times a minute, are powerful engines that fuel their survival. To cope with altitudes exceeding 8,000 feet, where nights bring bone-chilling cold, hummingbirds have developed an incredible strategy. They enter a state of torpor, similar to hibernation, slowing their heart rate dramatically to conserve energy. But hummingbirds are not just agile flyers, they are crucial pollinators. Some species, like the sword-billed hummingbird, have beaks longer than their bodies, a remarkable adaptation. However, this paradise is under threat. Deforestation and climate change are suffocating the Andean cloud forests. A thick mist descends from the towering peaks of the Andes, gently blanketing the forest canopy. Here, in this veil of clouds, a creature thrives with remarkable skill and resilience. The woolly monkey. In this misty world, these monkeys are like stealthy warriors, masters of their natural domain. Among the towering ancient trees, woolly monkeys live in large, tightly knit groups of up to 45 members. Here they play, compete, and bond through complex gestures and vocalizations. They communicate through subtle signals, from eye contact to calls and even friendly pats on the back. The diet of the woolly monkey is a colorful and rich feast. Fruits are their favorite, but they do not rely solely on sweet sugars. When needed, they diversify, eating leaves and seeds. In the dense fog of the Andean cloud forests, the call of the Colombian red howler monkey echoes. Their striking red fur, like flames burning in the green forest, stands out among the tall trees. The Colombian red howler is a large primate, weighing from 10 to 20 pounds, with a body length of 18 to 28 inches. Their prehensile tails are invaluable tools, allowing them to move gracefully. The Orinoco Basin, a wild and mysterious realm in Colombia where nature never truly rests. Here, life paints a dramatic picture as water and land dance together in an endless rhythm. From May to October, the heavens open, pouring down relentless rains that flood the vast plains. As the floodwaters recede, an arid landscape emerges. Vast grasslands stretch out like a giant green carpet. The rivers are not just lifelines, but the arteries of the Orinoco. They flow through the grasslands and forests, sustaining a vast ecosystem. The Orinoco Basin is a true biological hub, home to over 2,000 species of vascular plants and hundreds of animal species. The waters of the Orinoco River rush, winding through the tropical forests of Colombia, where the Orinoco crocodile lies in wait. This giant crocodilian, up to 23 feet long and weighing over 1,100 pounds, dominates the freshwater world. Honed by millions of years of evolution, they hunt by ambush tactics. During the breeding season, from January to March, sandy nests holding 40 to 70 eggs line the riverbanks. The Orinoco crocodile is not just a creature, it is the spirit of the Orinoco Basin, a presence that must be protected. Today, fewer than 1,500 individuals remain in the wild. The 20th century brought devastating losses due to hunting and habitat destruction. Water flows through the vast tributaries of the Orinoco Basin, carrying with it a wild symphony of life. Here, the capybara reigns over the wetlands like a silent king. They are the world's largest rodents, measuring 3 to 4.5 feet in length and weighing 77 to 146 pounds. Time has shaped this species over millions of years, perfecting its adaptations to a semi-aquatic environment. Their thick, reddish-brown fur is natural camouflage in the vegetation. Their eyes and ears are set high on their heads, ever watchful like vigilant sentinels. But the greatest marvel lies in their digestive system, a masterpiece of nature. With a multi-chambered stomach and a long intestine, the capybara can ferment tough cellulose from grasses. The Orinoco Basin is not just a home. It is a survival arena where the capybara plays a crucial ecological role. Capybara herds form living fortresses of 10 to 20 members, protecting one another. The Orinoco River winds through the flooded plains, carrying the currents of life and ancient secrets. In this environment of power and danger, the giant river otter reigns as a formidable warrior. Measuring 5 to 6 feet long and weighing up to 70 pounds, they are colossal otters, apex predators. Millions of years of evolution have crafted the giant river otter into a perfect hunting machine. Their dark brown waterproof fur is thick and sleek, protecting them from the cold water. Their long, muscular tails serve as both a powerful rudder and a weapon. Their groups of 3 to 10 individuals operate like a well-organized military unit. Communication is crucial for survival. They produce a variety of sounds, hisses to signal danger. However, not everything is a display of strength. Deforestation, chemical pollution from gold mining, and illegal hunting have pushed the giant river otter to an endangered status. With only 3,000 to 5,000 individuals left in the wild, their decline is a grim warning. Beneath the dense canopy of the Orinoco Basin, the cougar roams in the shadows, a powerful silhouette. This land is its kingdom, where every step is as silent as the wind. The cougar dates back to the Pleistocene, an era when great cats like the saber-toothed tiger and the cave lion still reigned. Its ancestors endured harsh climatic changes, which led to their wide distribution. This incredible adaptability is the key to their survival, allowing them to thrive. In the Orinoco Basin, a region interwoven with rivers and lush flooded grasslands, the diversity of the land provides both rich hunting grounds and a vast area to patrol and protect. Solitary by nature, cougars rarely gather in groups, except during mating season or when a female cares for her cubs. Males are highly territorial, occupying vast areas ranging from 50 to 150 square miles. Primarily active at night or twilight, cougars are stealthy hunters using the darkness. In the flooded grasslands and meandering rivers of the Orinoco Basin, the cougar moves as silently as a ghost. They are sophisticated predators. Unlike wolves, they do not rely on long-distance speed. Their bodies are built for power and precision. With wide paws and soft pads, they traverse dry ground or rustling leaves without making a sound. The cougar is a master of adaptation. When larger prey is scarce, they hunt smaller animals like porcupines, rabbits, or even small caimans. The Orinoco Basin is a land where seasonal wetlands and grasslands create rich ecosystems. The flooded forests, like floating gardens, bloom with aquatic vegetation. Water hyacinths and giant Amazon water lilies grow densely, providing shelter for fish and numerous bird species. During the rainy season, the jabiru stork, South America's largest water bird, standing up to 5 feet tall, wades through the waters. The jabiru moves with deliberate patience. It stands motionless for hours, its long legs anchored deep in the mud. When prey, like fish or frogs, make the slightest movement, its 13-inch-long beak strikes. Its reflexes are deadly, never missing an opportunity. The waters of the Orinoco River reflect the colors of the sunset. Amidst this shimmering landscape, the black skimmer glides by like a phantom. Measuring 16 to 20 inches long with an impressive 50-inch wingspan, they soar over the water. Their beaks are a unique biological marvel. The lower mandible is an inch longer than the upper one. Black skimmers never need to stop. They hunt on the wing, relying on lightning-fast reflexes. Black skimmers are not just master hunters, they are also ecological indicators. Colombia's Orinoco Basin, a world of marshes and flooded forests, is home to the Hoatzin. a bird so strange it resembles a living fossil, with piercing red eyes and a spiky crest. Young hoatzins bear a primitive trait. They have claws on their wings, which they use for climbing. As they mature, they lose these claws, but the remnants remain, telling an evolutionary story. What truly sets the hoatzin apart is its unique digestive system. Like a prehistoric bovine, the hoatzin ferments leaves in its stomach to extract energy. Descending from the Andes, rushing waters carry nutrients down to the vast Amazon rainforest in southern Colombia. The Amazon spans over 150,000 square miles, covering nearly 40% of the country. The Amazon rainforest in Colombia, a world hidden beneath a towering canopy. This is the green heart of our planet, a massive natural engine where every drop of rain, every gust of wind, here, towering trees like the ancient kapok, up to 200 feet tall, stand guard over the forest like giants. The rushing Putumayo and Caqueta rivers weave through the landscape like veins, carrying water and life. Rain falls relentlessly from 80 to 120 inches annually, maintaining a year-round green. The Amazon is home to more than 10% of all known species on Earth. With over 7,000 butterfly species, the Amazon is a paradise of colorful wings. The Amazon is also home to tiny yet powerful creatures. Leafcutter ants carry leaf fragments 10 times their weight back to their underground colonies. The jungle has a god, and it does not reside in the heavens. It walks among the canopy. It does not walk. It flows like a black river through the night. The prey never sees it. It only feels a sudden silence, a chill down the spine, knowing it is being watched by a power compressed in every muscle fiber, waiting for the perfect moment. And when it strikes, it is not a hunt. It is a judgment of nature, swift, brutal, and irresistible. Because in the Amazon kingdom, the jaguar is not a predator, it is destiny. Beneath the dense canopy of the Amazon rainforest, the jaguar prowls like a powerful phantom. Up to 6 feet long and weighing up to 250 pounds, this largest cat of the Americas is the embodiment of strength. The jaguar is not just a majestic symbol of power, but also plays a critical role. The jaguar is native to the dense forests and grasslands of the Americas. Its ancestors endured harsh climatic changes, which led to their wide distribution. In the cultural history of the indigenous peoples of South America, the jaguar is revered as a sacred creature. Its image appears in the rituals and symbols of great civilizations like the Maya, Aztec, and Inca. The once vast range of the jaguar, stretching from North America through Mexico and across South America, has significantly shrunk. The Amazon rainforest, the green heart of the planet, provides an ideal habitat for this powerful cat. Previously, the jaguar's territory extended from the southern United States down through Mexico and across South America. In Colombia, the dense forests, wetlands, and interconnected rivers of the Amazon rainforest are a sanctuary. Under the thick Amazon canopy, the jaguar moves with silent precision. In this diverse and complex ecosystem, every movement of the jaguar is carefully calculated. The jaguar does not chase its prey across open grasslands like a lion, nor does it climb trees to escape predators like a leopard. Their black and gold spotted coats are not just beautiful but also provide perfect camouflage. The jaguar's bite force is 1,500 pounds per square inch, the strongest of all big cats. They hunt caimans, asserting their dominance over the swamps and flooded areas. The green anaconda is a master of patience. This predator lurks like a phantom. The origins of this giant snake trace back to the wilds of South America. Up to 30 feet long and weighing up to 550 pounds, its massive body is covered in olive green scales. Unlike other predators, the anaconda does not pursue its prey over long distances. It does not need to chase. Instead, it relies on camouflage and ambush. With its eyes and nostrils set high on its head, the anaconda can see and breathe easily while submerged. The anaconda's hunting strategy is a blend of stealth and explosive action. It remains motionless, waiting for unsuspecting prey to wander into the waters where it hides. Compared to terrestrial predators like the jaguar, which rely on speed and raw power, the green anaconda has a significant advantage. The anaconda's digestive system is equally remarkable. After consuming a large meal, it can break down its prey over days or even weeks. Deep in the Amazon rainforest, where sunlight struggles to penetrate the thick canopy, a strange creature roams. This is the giant anteater, a master insect hunter. Existing for millions of years, they have evolved to perfect the art of excavating ants and termites. Their strategy ensures the sustainability of their food source. They eat quickly and then move on. With a body that can reach up to 8 feet long and weigh up to 140 pounds, the giant anteater is an impressive sight. Its 24-inch long tongue, capable of flicking in and out 150 times a minute, is the perfect weapon. However, its true strength lies in its razor-sharp claws, powerful enough to tear apart even the hardest termite mounds. Do not be fooled by their quiet demeanor. When threatened, they stand erect on their hind legs, claws at the ready. Despite their power, giant anteaters are highly vulnerable. Deforestation and urban development have placed them on the near-threatened list. Beneath the dense canopy of the Amazon rainforest in Colombia, a tiny yet incredibly agile creature lives amidst the dappled light, the squirrel monkey. With large, round eyes and yellowish-gray fur, it has existed for millions of years, perfectly adapted. They leap from branch to branch with the grace of circus performers. Evolution has gifted the squirrel monkey a remarkably large brain for its body size, making it one of the most intelligent primates. Their excellent learning ability and memory allow them to remember the exact locations of seasonal fruit trees. Living in large groups of 20 to 50 individuals, sometimes up to 100, they use complex vocal signals. High-pitched calls echo through the forest like warning bells. Their social structure provides safety, helping them find food and avoid predators. Squirrel monkeys are master insect hunters. When foraging, they move in synchrony, meticulously inspecting every leaf. Their dexterous hands and sharp reflexes make catching insects an easy task. But insects are not their only food. Their varied diet includes fruits, seeds, and bird eggs. Life in the Amazon is never easy. When predators approach, the entire troop cooperates, creating loud calls. Amidst the dense canopy of the Amazon rainforest, where sunlight filters through slender rays, the Caqueta titi monkey thrives. With a thick, reddish-brown coat and a prominent red beard, this primate embodies a mysterious presence. The Caqueta titi, a native of Colombia's Caqueta region, was only recognized as a distinct species in 2010. They are small, only 12 to 14 inches long, with a tail adding another 18 inches, and weigh 2 to 3 pounds. However, within their small frames lies a world of agility and intelligence. Kaketa titi monkeys are known for their monogamous pairs, bonding as lifelong partners. Each morning, they sing a unison call, their voices echoing through the forest, asserting their territory. Amidst the vast expanse of the Amazon rainforest in Colombia, a small yet bold creature navigates. The cotton-top tamarin, with its fluffy white mane like a cloud, is a striking icon. This tiny primate weighs less than a pound, with a body length of just 7 to 10 inches. However, despite its small size, it holds a world of intelligence and agility. Their nimble feet and long fingers allow them to move through the forest canopy like acrobats. Their relatively large brain for their body size gives them exceptional intelligence. The social behavior of the cotton-top tamarin is not just about survival, it is a story of unity and cooperation. High-pitched calls echo through the canopy like alarm bells, keeping every member vigilant. Notably, the male's role in caring for the young highlights the strength of their bond. The males carry the infants on their backs, protecting and nurturing them with remarkable devotion. Amidst the dense green of the Amazon rainforest, where countless shades of green dominate, sudden flashes of brilliant red, yellow, and blue stand out. These are the scarlet macaws, legendary parrots, the living jewels of the Colombian tropical forests. With a wingspan of up to 4 feet and a body length of 31 to 35 inches, they glide through the canopy like vibrant arrows. Scarlet macaws are deeply social creatures, living in bonded pairs or large flocks of up to 30 individuals. The scarlet macaw's beak is a perfect tool, powerful and sharp. capable of cracking the hardest nuts with ease. Their diet is varied, including fruits, seeds, flowers, and even clay from riverbanks. Beyond their stunning plumage, scarlet macaws are the unseen architects of the forest. They are not just adorned with colorful, brilliant plumage, but also act as invisible architects. They disperse seeds far and wide, aiding in the regeneration of vegetation and maintaining the richness of the ecosystem. However, this splendor is under threat. Relentless deforestation, illegal logging, and capture for the pet trade. Beneath the calm surface of the Amazon rivers, another world awaits in the darkness. There, the red-bellied piranha swims silently, moving in schools like dark clouds, ready to erupt. These creatures have existed for millions of years, perfectly adapted to the ever-changing harsh conditions. Their evolutionary history is one of resilience. The silt-rich rivers and flooded lakes of Colombia have nurtured them. The red-bellied piranha's body is 8 to 12 inches long and weighs about 2 to 3.5 pounds. Their jaws, lined with razor-sharp triangular teeth, act like a row of scalpels. With a bite force of up to 100 psi, they can tear through flesh in an instant. However, red-bellied piranhas are not always bloodthirsty killers. They form schools of 20 to 100 individuals, not for hunting but for protection. Their aggression often emerges in dire circumstances. During the dry season, when water levels drop and food becomes scarce, the schools can transform. They use pack tactics, attacking prey with cold precision and tearing apart larger animals. The vibrant red on their bellies is not just a striking feature, it is a communication tool. During the breeding season, the red becomes even more brilliant, attracting mates and reinforcing social bonds. Despite their fearsome reputation, red-bellied piranhas play a crucial role in the Amazon ecosystem. They act as natural cleaners, keeping the waterways free of decaying carcasses. Continuing the journey, the Choco rainforest emerges as one of the wettest places on Earth. This wilderness, where the towering Andes rise to the heavens and the rugged Pacific coast stretches, here, towering trees reach heights of 200 feet, standing like ancient warriors. Rare rays of sunlight filter through the thick layers of leaves, creating a dim, humid, and vibrant world. High above, the treetops become a grand stage for the birds of the Choco, turning the rainforest into a natural symphony. Over 400 bird species inhabit this lush wilderness, each playing a vital role. Orchid bees, with their metallic iridescent shells, buzz through the treetops to pollinate orchids. Over 1,200 orchid species thrive here, forming complex symbiotic relationships with numerous insects. As you wander through the Choco rainforest, a rainforest renowned for having the highest rainfall, you might witness a small yet extraordinary miracle of nature, the basilisk lizard. The name is not just a myth. With a body length of up to 3 feet and weighing about 1.5 pounds, the basilisk lizard can sprint across the water's surface. Its feet are equipped with specialized scales that create a slapping effect on the water. This lizard thrives near the rivers and streams of the Choco, using the water's surface as a refuge. But this ability is not just a means of escape. Its sharp vision and agile movements in a world of giants, the most fearsome ruler has no fangs, no claws, and is only the size of your thumb. It does not flee. It displays its beauty as a challenge. Its brilliant yellow is not an invitation, but a pre-written obituary. Because on its delicate skin lies a perfect weapon, a kiss of death, powerful enough to fell even the largest predators. In this forest, power is not measured by size, but by the silence it leaves behind. Amidst the vast, humid expanse of the Choco rainforest, the golden poison frog shines like a dangerous jewel. Living on the damp forest floor among decaying leaves, this tiny amphibian fiercely defends its territory. Just 2 inches long, the frog's brilliant yellow color is not just for show, it is a deadly warning. The skin of the golden poison frog contains batrachotoxin, an extremely potent poison. Just 2 micrograms are enough to fell an adult human. A single frog carries enough poison to kill 10 to 20 people, or about 10,000 mice. The Choco coastal region of Colombia, where lush rainforest meets the ocean, is home to a notorious predator, the hammerhead shark. Its flat, hammer-shaped head is not just an identifying feature, but a perfect biological weapon. With its eyes on either side of its head, the hammerhead has a 360-degree horizontal field of vision. In addition to their exceptional vision, hammerheads have a remarkable ability to detect the electromagnetic signals of their prey. In shallow waters or near coral reefs, the hammerhead glides gracefully, searching for stingrays. Once located, it uses its hammer-like head to pin down its prey. These predators are not only intelligent but also incredibly agile. With bodies up to 20 feet long and weighing up to 1,000 pounds, they can accelerate through the water. However, their formidable power cannot protect them from human threats. Overfishing and the demand for shark fins have pushed the hammerhead to the brink of extinction. The Choco coast, once a haven for these majestic creatures, has become a battleground for survival. Looking far to the west, the Pacific coast and the Caribbean Sea tell a different story. Along the Choco coastline, where the rainforest seamlessly blends into the ocean waves, a magnificent journey unfolds. Each year, humpback whales, up to 50 feet long and weighing about 88,000 pounds, travel thousands of miles. Annually, from July to November, the warm waters of the Choco become a stage for the cycle of life. Here, with ideal temperatures of 77 to 82 degrees Fahrenheit, female humpbacks give birth and protect their young. The Choco coast, where the crashing waves meet the dense rainforests, is a battlefield for master predators. Here, humpback whales execute extraordinary survival strategies. Up to 50 feet long and weighing up to about 88,000 pounds, these whales need up to 3,000 pounds of food per day. To achieve this, they have developed a remarkable hunting technique: bubble net feeding. It is not a simple hunt. It is a spectacle of perfect coordination and master strategy. Humpback whales work together in groups, creating a giant circle of bubbles in the water. They use calls to synchronize their movements in the dark depths of the ocean. Humpback whales are not just about migration and hunting. They carry a profound ecological impact. When they dive into the deep waters, they stir up sediment, releasing trapped nutrients. The feces of humpback whales, rich in iron and other nutrients, further stimulate the growth of phytoplankton. These microscopic plants form the base of the marine food chain. However, this ocean paradise is changing. Rising sea temperatures are disrupting food sources. Increased maritime traffic creates underwater noise, interfering with the complex songs of the male whales. Finally, the mangrove forests along the Pacific coast rise like an invincible fortress. The Pacific mangrove ecosystem, where each rise and fall of the tide not only transforms the landscape, but also initiates a new cycle. Here, the power of nature is on full display as the mangrove forests stand like unyielding strongholds. In this place, the red mangrove trees stand tall, with their roots reaching out like protective arms, anchored deep in the mud. These intricate, interwoven roots form a natural labyrinth where water and mud blend. The Pacific mangroves are a sanctuary for migratory birds. Over 60% of Colombia's waterbirds come here to nest and raise their young. And it is not difficult to spot, soaring in the vast skies of the mangrove forests along Colombia's Pacific coast. The giant wings of the pelican glide gently, like masterful gliders. With a wingspan of up to 10 feet, they carve arcs in the sky, preparing for a dramatic hunt. Pelicans migrate thousands of miles, crossing sky and sea, to the warm waters of the mangrove forests. This journey is not easy. They rely on an innate ability to sense the Earth's magnetic field. In the mangrove waters, pelicans become fierce hunters. When they spot a school of fish, they dive from above with incredible speed. Some pelicans can dive up to 6.5 feet deep, turning the still water into a stage. Under the sunset of the mangrove forests along Colombia's Pacific coast, the wings of the scarlet ibis burn bright. The scarlet ibis migrates cyclically, with its journey shaped by seasonal changes and fluctuating water levels. Their deep, blood-red plumage is not an innate feature, rather, it is a sign of their diet. Flocks of these birds can travel hundreds of miles, a sea of red drifting across the sky. Flying in groups, They use formations to reduce air resistance and to protect each other from predators. With a wingspan of 22 to 24 inches and each bird weighing less than 1.5 pounds, however, do not be deceived by their size. These creatures are both powerful and delicate, masters of survival. They are skilled mudflat hunters. Their hunts take place in the early morning or late afternoon, when the sun is gentle and the mangroves come alive. Their long, curved and sensitive beaks are perfect tools for probing the muddy terrain. Colombia, a land of mystical forests, winding rivers, and towering peaks, is where nature reveals both its wild beauty and its fragility. However, this paradise is like an oil painting being torn piece by piece. The devastation and growing threats are becoming painfully clear, leaving deep scars. Climate change is redrawing Colombia's natural map. The Pacific coast, home to precious Pacific mangrove ecosystems, faces the threat of rising sea levels. The mangrove forests, which act as natural seawalls and are crucial breeding grounds for many fish. In the Orinoco Basin, the impact of climate change is even more pronounced. Prolonged droughts and sudden floods have disrupted a once fertile plain. Beyond climate change, Colombia's forests are disappearing at an alarming rate. In 2023 alone, the country lost over 300,000 acres of forest, an area equivalent to New York City. Uncontrolled infrastructure development is carving roads through Colombia's pristine wilderness. What was once a haven for the cotton-topped tamarin and the three-toed sloth has been overtaken by agriculture and urbanization. "30% of the jaguar's habitat has disappeared in the last 2 decades, leaving them more vulnerable. Even as infrastructure expands, the short-term economic gains cannot compensate for the long-term damage. Cities are growing, but at the cost of a shrinking wilderness. Colombia is a testament to the complexity and fragility of nature. The mystical cloud forests, the vast Amazon rainforest, the wetlands of the Orinoco, and the Pacific mangrove forests. However, there is still hope if urgent and persistent conservation efforts are made. Fortunately, biological corridors have been established to reconnect fragmented forests. The Choco Conservation Corridor is one example where the safe movement of jaguars has led to an 8% population increase. The Pacific mangroves are also being protected through marine reserves. Sustainable agriculture and environmental education programs are spreading hope in the Orinoco Basin. Among these efforts, the recovery of the cotton-top tamarin is a beacon of hope and motivation. Once on the brink of disappearing, with only 7,000 individuals left in the wild in 2010, then a miracle happened. Proyecto TT, an ambitious conservation project, was launched. Between 2013 and 2023, over 1,200 acres of forest were restored. New green corridors were created, reconnecting fragmented habitats. Local communities became deeply involved. They learned to craft products from recycled plastic bags. In 2024, the IUCN reported that the cotton-top tamarin population had increased by 35%. This story shows that with persistence and sustainable solutions, nature can heal. But the journey does not end there. Colombia still needs our collective effort. The crocodiles lie in wait for weeks on end, submerged in the murky water, with only their eyes and nostrils breaking the surface, like hidden traps biding their time. The mouth of the Nile crocodile contains 64 to 68 sharp, conical teeth, designed not for tearing flesh, but for gripping prey. The bite force of an adult can reach up to 4,946 pounds force, more than 30 times that of a human, enough to crush the bones of a gazelle or a buffalo. However, the muscles used to open the jaw are surprisingly weak. Nearly all of their power is concentrated in closing it. The hierarchy among crocodiles is determined by size. The largest and oldest males are dominant, claiming the best basking spots and feeding first. The rainy season brings abundant water, and with it, the herbivores that come to drink and rest. The Nile crocodile takes full advantage, hiding near the water holes. With larger prey, they drag it into the water until it stops breathing, then perform the infamous death roll to tear it apart. Another remarkable feature is their extraordinary ability to fast. An adult can survive for months without eating. It is this trait that allows them to lie in ambush for weeks on end without losing their striking power. This waiting ability is supported by a biological marvel, their four-chambered heart. Unlike most other reptiles, they have a special valve called the foramen of Panizza that allows them to divert blood away from their lungs when submerged, enabling them to hold their breath for over an hour, turning patience into a true biological weapon. The water ripples gently as a Nile crocodile waits for its prey. But deep inland, the forest echoes with a deep, majestic rumble. The African bush elephant is approaching in a herd, moving slowly like giant tanks. Their footsteps crush the bushes and young grass. But the bush elephant never travels alone. Soaring just above their backs are white wings, living satellites drifting alongside. They are the cattle egrets, small white herons that accompany the elephants. Each step of the elephant stirs up insects from the grass, and the flock never misses an opportunity. Even more closely associated are the red-billed oxpeckers. Their red eyes and sharp beaks search for parasitic ticks under the wrinkled skin. Young grass grows thick during this period. That is why grass often makes up about 70% of an elephant's diet on the savanna. When the dry season arrives, their diet gradually shifts to woody plants, a common seasonal strategy for the species. The elephant families are led by an experienced matriarch. The younger males will leave the herd to live a solitary life or form bachelor groups. The elephant's body contains perfectly tuned survival tools. The enormous ears help to cool the body by regulating blood flow and releasing heat. Their grey, wrinkled skin contains small cracks that retain water and mud, creating a cooling, evaporative effect. But their real power lies in their trunks. The trunk can suck up water for drinking, spray it over the body for cooling, or even dig deep into a dry riverbed to find underground water sources. The wells dug by elephants quickly become communal water holes for many other species. Elephants also use their trunks for tactile communication. And that bond goes far beyond what we can hear. Elephants communicate with infrasonic rumbles, low-frequency vibrations that travel through the ground. These seismic calls can travel for dozens of miles, allowing different herds to talk to each other, warning of danger or guiding to water. They are listening to the heartbeat of the earth. A mud bath acts as a natural protective shield for the skin. Elephants wallow in mud to stay moist, protect themselves from the sun, and remove parasites when the mud dries and flakes off. When moving through the forest, they break branches, strip bark, and push over small trees. This reshapes the vegetation, creating openings for light and young grass to grow. Elephants are also seed dispersers. They eat fruits and then spread the seeds through their dung to new areas, helping to propagate plant species and enrich the soil. The clearings that elephants create in the forest often become natural nurseries for new plant species. An adult elephant can consume up to 330 pounds of vegetation per day and drink from 47 to 60 gallons of water when needed. The rainy season is also the breeding season. The females are more receptive to mating when food is abundant. The males in must will leave their groups to find a mate. At dusk, the elephant herd leaves the mud wallows, leaving behind trails of disturbed earth, stripped bark, and newly dug wells. As the African elephant herd passes, leaving gaps in the canopy, the Maasai giraffe silently steps in. They do not need to break through the trees to make way. Their height has already granted them access to the highest layers of foliage. This is the tallest giraffe species and the tallest terrestrial animal on Earth. An adult can be up to 19 feet tall, with its neck accounting for nearly half of that total height. This unique structure allows them to feed on the leaves at the tops of trees that few other browsers can reach. However, their superior height becomes a weakness when they need to bend down to drink. They must spread their legs or kneel, a very risky posture. In that moment, they become a prime target for predators like lions and leopards. To be safe, they choose wide-open drinking spots, drink quickly, and then immediately raise their heads in vigilance. A notable social behavior during the rainy season is the tendency to form temporary, loose groups. A group can consist of individuals of all ages and sexes, gathering for short periods around leafy trees or water sources. Although there is no hierarchy, the group provides a strategic advantage. More pairs of eyes mean a better chance of spotting predators. Since 2019, the Maasai giraffe has been classified as an endangered species. Over the past 3 decades, their population has declined by about 50%. The main causes are habitat loss, poaching for meat and body parts, and increasing conflict with humans over land use. On the acacia branches just stripped by the Maasai giraffe, a slight movement stirs the lower boughs. A vervet monkey swings from branch to branch, leaving a trail of sharp staccato calls echoing through the forest. Small in size but striking in appearance, the vervet monkey catches the eye with its soft, silvery grey fur and a black face. Its long tail helps it to balance as it leaps through the treetops. A unique feature of the adult male is a pale blue patch of skin on its abdomen, a visual signal in social communication. These monkeys are true opportunists. During the rainy season, their menu is incredibly diverse, from fruits and seeds to insects and young leaves. At the first sign of danger, such as the silhouette of a leopard or the heavy wing beats of a martial eagle, one of them will let out a sharp alarm call. What is incredible is that they have an extremely sophisticated alarm language. They produce different calls for different predators. A bark can mean leopard, and the whole troop will climb to the highest treetops. A short cough can mean eagle, and the whole troop will look up at the sky and seek cover. And a piercing chutter means snake, and the whole troop will stand on their hind legs to look at the ground. It is a clever and complex early warning system. As the alarm calls of the vervet monkeys fade, another sound rises through the high canopy, deeper, more resonant, like a drumbeat through the trees. It is the call of the black and white colobus monkey. These elusive primates spend nearly their entire lives in the high treetops of the Serengeti forest. The Guereza colobus is distinguished by its jet black fur, fringed with a mantle of long, silky white hair that runs down its back and tail. Its long, bushy white tail acts as an excellent counterbalance as it glides between the branches. As a specialist leaf eater, the colobus monkey spends most of the rainy season in search of young, protein-rich, but hard-to-digest leaves. To cope, they possess a multi-chambered stomach, similar to that of a ruminant, filled with bacteria that help break down cellulose. They live in small family groups, usually consisting of a single dominant male, a few breeding females, and their offspring. The bond within the group is reinforced through grooming, resting close together, and most notably, through their powerful calls. Unlike the ground-dwelling monkeys, the colobus monkey rarely, if ever, sets foot on the forest floor. This helps them stay out of reach of many terrestrial predators, but it also makes them highly dependent on the structure of the forest. As the echoes of the primate calls still linger down on the forest floor, the black-backed jackal strolls with a quiet confidence. Its coat is a masterful blend of silver grey, rust brown, and a dark black saddle running down its back. Its pointed ears and sharp eyes act like radar. Weighing from 13 to 29 pounds, these jackals may be small, but they are agile, intelligent, and extremely cunning. The black-backed jackal is a clever hunter. They may hunt alone or in pairs. During the rainy season, when life flourishes, their menu becomes rich and varied. When the scent of a larger animal's carcass wafts through the humid air, their powerful sense of smell can detect it from over a mile away. They live in strong monogamous pairs. A breeding pair can stay together for life, hunting and raising their young together. The black-backed jackal plays a crucial role in the woodland ecosystem. They are the silent cleaners, helping to decompose animal carcasses and control rodent populations. Once again, we turn our eyes to the sky. But this time, it is a vibrant, delicate streak of color against the damp, post-rain sky. The lilac-breasted roller spreads its wings like a living rainbow, bearing shades of purple, green, blue, and a hint of rosy pink on its breast. Though only about 14 inches long, this bird has an unmistakable characteristic flight style. In flight, it often performs spectacular aerial acrobatics. These swoops and twists in mid-air are not just impressive hunting tactics, but also part of a courtship display during the breeding season. The rainy weather draws insects out of their cocoons, hiding under leaves or hopping in the grass. This is the golden hour for the lilac-breasted roller. This species does not gather in large flocks, but usually moves in pairs. They occupy small territories, often centered around a tall cluster of trees near an open clearing. As the last of the rain dissolves into the valley, it rings like a silent bell, heralding the start of a great journey. There is no grand overture, just the steady, thunderous rhythm of hooves crushing the young grass underfoot. The migration to the west and towards the areas around the Grumeti and Mara rivers begins, with over 2 million individuals on the move. On their way, the animals pass through acacia woodlands and riverine forests. These are characteristic ecological transition zones, offering shade, moisture, and patches of young grass. Stopping in the acacia woodlands, the wildebeest graze on the fresh grass that grows in the shade, where the phosphorus and nitrogen content is high, essential for the nursing mothers and their calves. Leading the way are the plains zebras, the natural pathfinders, and sentinels. With their height and large eyes, they guide the herds and are the first to spot danger. In this lush, seemingly tranquil space, the Nile crocodile lurks on the banks, a constant fear whispered among the herds. When the prey lowers its head to drink, the glare of the water narrows their vision, and that is when the trap is sprung. Many wildebeest die not from the jaws of the crocodile, but from the chaos, trampled by their own kind. The leopard also waits patiently, using the dense trees at the edge of the forest for cover. At this time, the woodland becomes a crucial crossroads, a living corridor where the species gather to drink, feed, and evade the hand of fate. But not all make it through. The weak, the young, or those who fall behind often disappear without a trace, and no one turns back for them. Long after the migrating herds have passed, the woodland still holds its silent records. Scratches, wells by elephants, broken tree trunks. And now this ecosystem once again transitions to a harsher phase. The leaves turn yellow and many small streams run dry, leaving cracked earth behind. The air becomes dry and arid. During this time, wildfires are common, sparked by a combination of dry grass, strong winds, and rainless lightning. But instead of destroying, these fires serve a vital purpose, clearing out old vegetation, enriching the soil, and stimulating dormant seeds to germinate. As the dry season envelops the woodland, even after nightfall, the temperature remains above 77 degrees Fahrenheit. But for the leopard, this is the perfect time. A solitary figure, silent yet commanding. Unlike the lion that roars to assert its presence, the leopard uses silence to draw opportunity to itself. Its coat is a subtle blend of pale yellow and black rosettes, allowing it to merge with the dry grass and tree bark. Each of these rosette patterns is a unique fingerprint. No two leopards are exactly alike. But this is not just beauty, it is optical camouflage. The irregular edges of the black spots break up their body outline perfectly in the dappled light of the woodland, turning the predator into a true phantom. But this time of year offers a new opportunity, the waterholes, where thirst gathers everything in one place. At these drinking spots, the small and medium-sized animals must come to drink, and the leopard can wait and anticipate. Its main activity begins after dark. To claim the throne, the internal competition among leopards is fierce. A male may kill the cubs that are not his own. During the dry season, when resources are scarce, this behavior increases. But the females are not weak. They are agile and change their hiding places to protect their young. When hunting, the leopard uses a stealthy approach. It crawls low to the ground, each step silent like a ghost in the forest, until it is just a few paces from its attack. Its behavior of caching its kill is very sophisticated. On average, it drags the carcass about 300 feet to a safe place, and in many cases, it hoists the prey into a tree. The leopard uses its retractable claws and strong forelimbs, which are perfect for climbing, to avoid having its kill stolen by hyenas or lions. It can hoist large prey like a young gazelle up to a branch over 30 feet high to protect its precious meal. The leopard's ears and night vision truly shine. Its eyes contain a reflective layer, allowing for clear vision in the dark. The silence before a predator's attack is in stark contrast to the constant vigilance of its prey. The impala, graceful creatures with ears always tuned to every sound. During the dry season, when fresh grass is scarce, impala switch to browsing on leaves, tender shoots, and soft bark from the low trees. When the water sources shrink, impalas do not wander far. They are forced to concentrate around the last remaining pools. There, every step is a search for water and a vigil against threats. The impala herd acts as a natural alarm system. They take turns standing guard, ears pricked, eyes constantly scanning their surroundings. In difficult times, the male impalas defend their territories more fiercely. The battles for dominance become more intense. Impalas have no claws, no thick hide like the buffalo. Their only weapons are speed and reflexes. An impala can leap up to 10 feet high and 33 feet long in a single bound. However, sometimes constant vigilance is not enough. The weaker, the young, the careless, or those exhausted by thirst are often the ones left behind. However, the leopard's feast does not end there. Hidden under the red dust of the woodland, another target often falls into its sights. The warthog, a wild pig with curved tusks, is known for kneeling on its front legs to dig for roots and tubers underground. This posture allows them to forage beneath the surface, even in the parched earth of the woodland. Unlike many other animals that hide in their burrows during the day, the warthog is primarily active when the sun is high. At night, warthogs sleep or take refuge in their burrows. They often use abandoned aardvark burrows as their overnight shelters. When threatened, warthogs do not flee alone. They immediately dash into their burrows, head held low, digging deeper to escape the predator's reach. The warthog plays a significant role in the leopard's hunting strategy. Although smaller than antelopes, their frequent availability makes them an attractive target. Ironically, it is their diurnal habits that make them more vulnerable to being hunted. They sleep in their burrows at night, then emerge at dawn and dusk, the peak activity hours of the leopard. The Serengeti woodland is also home to other large species, even during the harsh, dry season. The African buffalo move in herds of dozens, sometimes hundreds. Under the arid heat, the buffalo herd is in no hurry. They are well accustomed to the lack of water, relying instead on their long-term memory to navigate between grazing grounds and the few remaining water points. The social structure of the Cape buffalo herd is highly organized. A large, experienced bull serves as the leader, directing the group's movements and responses. At midday, the entire herd stops in the rare patches of shade, not just to rest, but also to regulate their body temperature. But it is not just the heat or the thirst that threatens the buffalo. Predators like the leopard still silently stalk the edges of the herd. However, the herd's tight-knit structure remains their most effective shield. When a member is threatened, the entire herd reacts almost instantly. The mobbing behavior, a collective pushback against the predator, is what makes many hunters retreat. An adult buffalo can charge at speeds of up to 30 miles per hour, with its downward curved horns carrying the weight of sledgehammers. The African buffalo has relatively poor eyesight and hearing, relying mainly on its highly developed sense of smell to detect danger. This is why they often gather in large groups and maintain close proximity to compensate for their sensory limitations. Although they are herbivores, their diet is quite limited, mainly consisting of dry grass. The dry season forces them to travel further to find enough food. The African buffalo also strikes fear into many other species. They are responsible for about 200 human fatalities each year across Africa. That number surpasses most carnivores and even rivals that of lions and crocodiles. But beneath the horns and the fierce gaze, the African buffalo is a symbol of structure, community, and remarkable resilience. And it is the constant tension between them and the leopard, two members of the Big Five, that paints one of the most iconic battles of the savannah. High above, while the buffalo and the impala struggle to protect their herds, another predator silently observes from a bare branch. It is the martial eagle, a powerful bird of prey with a wingspan of nearly 8.5 feet. This makes it the largest bird of prey in Africa. The wide field of vision allows them to spot young monkeys or large birds moving in the canopy. Once a target is locked, they dive like an arrow, fast and precise. At this time of year, the hot winds often create rising air currents, which the martial eagle uses as highways in the sky. They can soar for hours, patrolling their hunting grounds without needing to flap their wings frequently. The presence of the martial eagle plays a crucial role in the woodland ecosystem. They help control the populations of insectivorous and smaller bird species. As the apex predator of the sky, the martial eagle helps to stabilize the ecosystem in the same way the leopard does on the ground. However, their existence is increasingly fragile. The International Union for Conservation of Nature has listed the martial eagle as an endangered species since 2020. As the martial eagle folds its wings under the bare branches, another resilient creature begins its night shift, the honey badger. It moves low and quiet, but carries a presence that commands respect. Its diet consists of almost everything, from insects and berries to bones, fur, and even venomous snakes. Nothing escapes its appetite. Venomous snakes make up to 25% of their diet during the dry season. This says a lot about their extraordinary biology. The honey badger's body possesses a unique protein mutation that gives them an immunity to the venom of many snake species, including the cobra. Some individuals have even been observed lying still for a few hours after being bitten, only to wake up and finish eating the snake. On top of that, their skin is thick and loose, allowing them to turn and bite back when grabbed by a predator. This has forced leopards to abandon the hunt midway. But their greatest weapon is perhaps their tenacious intelligence. The honey badger is one of the few animals known to use tools. They have been observed rolling logs to climb over walls or using sticks to dig out larvae from crevices. They do not just fight the problem, they think their way through it. And there is more. Its anal pouch can be turned inside out, releasing a pungent odor to repel enemies or to disorient bees when raiding a hive. As the patches of woodland thin out to the south and west, the central savanna of the Serengeti emerges, an endless sea of grass stretching to the horizon. The terrain here is flat and vast, forming grasslands that seem to stretch on forever. This is a crucial ecological transition zone in the Serengeti Plains system. The central savanna is the ecological core, where all migratory routes must pass, and where some of Africa's most dynamic populations converge. As the arid curtain falls over the Serengeti grasslands, a huge living current begins to move. The blue wildebeest. They move like a biological river of surging life. Their synchronized breeding strategy saturates the predators with sheer numbers. Thousands of calves are born at nearly the same time. This journey follows a path deeply ingrained in their instinct and collective memory. The herd operates with system and structure. Most are females and their young. During rest, the young lie in the center, shielded by a wall of mothers. The blue wildebeest has a robust body, weighing from 330 to 550 pounds as an adult. Built to endure long distances, their bodies conserve energy. To maintain this strength, a wildebeest consumes about 9 to 11 pounds of grass per day, preferring the tender young shoots. The rainy season savanna comes alive as never before when the wildebeest lead the way. And right beside them, the plains zebra move in herds like a living black and white wave. The zebra's diet consists mainly of grass, making up 96.9% of their food intake. They digest quickly thanks to a simple digestive system. Zebras tend to eat the taller, coarser grasses on top, clearing the way for the wildebeest to feed on the softer layers below. At the same time, the zebra acts as a visual shield for the group when danger approaches. Zebras live in small family groups, each led by a dominant stallion along with a few mares and their foals. When these families gather into larger herds, their vigilance increases. The survival journey of the zebra is distinctly shaped by the long dry season. As the water sources dry up, the herds rely on their spatial memory to navigate. As the sun sets, the zebras sleep standing up. But there is always one individual awake to stand guard. Their survival instinct is built on connection and constant awareness. The rainy season comes alive as the Thompson's gazelle reveals its full survival instincts. They take advantage of the low-growing young grass left behind after the zebras have cleared the taller layers. With speeds reaching 50 to 55 miles per hour, the Thompson's gazelle turns every leap and swerve into a survival tool. The Thompson's gazelle is primarily a grazer, with grass making up 96.9% of its diet. During the dry season, they migrate far in search of food and water, chasing the cycle of the rains and the growth of the grass across the savanna. Their pronking strategy, the high V-shaped leaps, is a way of challenging the predators. It is a display of speed and vitality. During the breeding season, the young are born almost simultaneously to lessen the pressure from predators. This phenomenon is called synchronized birthing, a clever survival tactic. The crown of the savanna belongs to only one species, the lion. Without competition or public recognition, this apex predator knows its place and its role in the ecosystem. The dominant male is responsible for protecting the territory and the cubs. Meanwhile, the lionesses, with their slender and agile bodies, act as the primary hunters. They often lie in wait at the edge of the forest, where the shade of the trees meets the bright sun of the grasslands. Here, the lionesses lead the attack. While the male steps back to protect, the lionesses still yield the first bite to the male, reflecting the strict social order of the pride. The lion is the only cat species that lives in prides with a complex social life. The members cooperate to hunt, protect, and raise their young. The males with thick manes not only impress the lionesses but also act as a suit of armor, protecting the neck and head during battles. The roar of a lion can be heard up to 5 miles away. It is both a territorial claim and a way for members to locate each other at night. The young male lions are driven from the pride when they are about 2 to 3 years old and must find or take over a new territory. Although it seems cruel, this is a common survival strategy that ensures the genes of the dominant male are passed on. The territory of a lion can stretch from 8 to 150 square miles. The alpha male patrols, marking with his scent and roaring to warn off intruders. During the dry season, the herbivores need to drink frequently, concentrating around the scarce water sources, turning these places into a buffet for the lions. The dry season requires the lion to rely more on stamina than on speed. Although capable of reaching speeds of up to 50 miles per hour, they can only maintain it for short periods, relying heavily on group ambush strategies. Even as the rulers of the savannah, lions still spend about 16 to 20 hours a day resting to conserve energy. However, the lion population is declining in many areas due to a loss of prey. It is a warning about the fragility of the balance between predator and prey. Following in the footsteps of the lion, the silent master of the savannah hunts, the spotted hyena appears, a strategist in its own right. Its strange laughter echoes across the land, whether over a scrap of a meal or the quiet satisfaction of a lion-free feast, and it never fails to send a chill down the spine. The spotted hyena appears in the arid twilight, trailing the migrating wildebeest or zebra herds. They hunt and scavenge, silently, taking advantage of the young or the exhausted. The hyena lives in a matriarchal structure. The females are larger and led. Often, a daughter will inherit her mother's social connections. And the hierarchy of the clan depends heavily on the status of the mother. This creates a tightly knit social system. And this complex society supports one of the most strategic minds of the savannah. Contrary to popular belief, hyenas are not just scavengers, they are extremely effective hunters, taking down up to 75% of their own food. Studies have even shown they have the ability to count the number of opponents in a confrontation, which helps them decide when to fight and when to retreat. Hyenas are also ecological cleanup specialists. Their jaws produce a massive bite force, estimated at about 1,080 to 1,120 pounds force. This allows them to crush large bones and consume every part of a carcass that most other predators do not touch. They are not picky eaters. Survival is placed above all else. In the harsh, dry season, a hyena will eat the carcass of its own kind, whether from old age, accident, or internal conflict. It is not a cold-blooded act. It is a survival instinct, a means to keep the clan alive. The spotted hyena hunts in small groups, usually from 3 to 5 individuals. Short chases can take down an impala, a warthog, or even a baboon. On the vast savanna grasslands, blending with the color of the dry grass, something flashes by like the wind. But if you look closely, you will notice small spots on their bodies, and that can only be the cheetah. The cheetah is the fastest land animal. They can reach 68 miles per hour in just a few seconds, on par with a Ferrari. This is thanks to a lightweight frame, a slender body, powerful hind legs, and a long tail that acts as a rudder for balance. However, to achieve that speed, the cheetah has had to make a trade-off. A small, narrow head reduces wind resistance. But weak jaws and short canines mean they cannot hold on to their prey for long or fight off larger predators. On the savanna, the cheetah chooses to hunt young or solitary individuals. Those prey tend to be slower and easier to catch. First, the cheetah often climbs a low termite mound or a slope to observe the wind direction and the movement of the gazelles. When the distance is reduced to under 200 to 300 feet, the cheetah breaks into a sprint. The chase is usually very short, under 1,000 feet, as its body quickly tires and overheats. The cheetah's hunting success rate is quite high, about 40 to 50% in the Serengeti when hunting Thompson's gazelles. The cheetah is most active at dawn and dusk when the temperature is cooler and large predators like lions or hyenas are less active. However, the cheetah cannot climb like the leopard because its claws are not retractable. This helps them maintain their grip when running, but also prevents them from carrying their prey up a tree. As a result, the cheetah has to eat its prey on the ground and cannot hide it. 12% of their prey is stolen by larger predators right after being taken down. The cheetah has a very low reproductive rate, and the young are particularly vulnerable. In the wild, the mortality rate of cubs under 3 months old can be as high as 90%. In the dry season, along the forest edges bordering the Serengeti savanna, patches of dew-drenched grass still remain. This is when the serval must rely on every sense to hunt. With its large ears and long legs, it can see and hear rodents and frogs hiding within the damp grass. Once prey is detected, the serval launches into a precise vertical leap, landing directly into the sparse cover to seize its target. On average, a serval completes 15 to 16 successful hunts each day, adding up to roughly 4,000 rodents, 260 snakes, and 130 birds each year. They are most active at dawn and dusk, when the calls of mice and frogs become unmistakably clear. As the environment along the forest corridor becomes more lush, the gentle footsteps of the Cape bushbuck echo silently through the damp grass. With a slender body, large ears, and long legs, they listen and watch for every small movement under the canopy. This species is primarily active at dawn and dusk. They maintain a stable level of activity through both the dry and rainy seasons. Their diet consists mainly of young leaves and shoots, with a diverse intake from species like acacia and other small trees. The Cape bushbuck usually lives a solitary life, occasionally forming pairs, but does not truly live in groups. They are also quite shy, often hiding under the trees. As the Cape bushbuck retreats into the shade, the chimpanzee begins to appear, walking gently through the green, damp vegetation. Chimpanzees often search for ripe fruits, seeds, and sometimes cooperate to hunt smaller primates. They use quite simple tools. This tool-using behavior is not just instinct, it is culture. Different chimpanzee groups develop their own toolkits and techniques, passed down from one generation to the next. One group might specialize in using stones to crack nuts, while another is proficient at using sticks to fish for termites. Each community is a repository of transmitted knowledge. They probe for prey with sticks, crack nuts with stones, and even retrieve food from tree hollows or stream banks to exploit hard to reach food sources. A 2024 study showed that chimpanzees use tools in a sophisticated sequence of actions. They can carry multiple types of tools to be used in succession. Their diet consists mainly of ripe fruits, which make up over 64% of their foraging time. The rest includes leaves, seeds, and insects like ants and termites. In the rainy season, the life cycle of the forest becomes more vibrant. The rain causes the fruits to grow abundantly, prompting the chimpanzees to move more freely and form temporary groups. As soon as the chimpanzees retreat deep into the jungle, a troop of olive baboons begins to appear along the shady stream banks. The name olive comes from their yellow, brown, black fur, which from a distance creates a gray-green tone similar to the color of an olive. During the rainy season, when the vegetation thrives, the olive baboons move in large groups along the stream banks. They spend most of their time searching for young leaves and ripe fruits. The energy of the rainy season also inspires this species to explore the forest edge earlier in the day. At dawn, they venture to the forest boundary to take advantage of leftover food. Meanwhile, the dry season becomes both an advantage and a battlefield for the African rock python. Instead of chasing its prey, the largest snake in Africa prefers to lie in wait. When the prey comes near, the python constricts and creates a powerful squeeze. Without the need for venom, it subdues its target with pure muscular strength, then swallows it whole. When the dry season is prolonged, they retreat into deep root hollows, where it is cool and there is less moisture loss. The python's body is 13 to 20 feet long, heavy, and has an earthy pattern of brown, black and grey, blending into the ground to the point of almost disappearing from sight. This snake can digest a young antelope, a young warthog, or even small mammals. High above the dense green forest, the fisher's turaco glides through the canopy like a vibrant green streak. Its characteristic green plumage flashes with a bright red as it flies. They spend most of their time in the upper canopy, where the fruit trees are dense and varied. Their diet is almost exclusively fruit, with berries, small fruits, and soft seeds. As they move between the clusters of trees, they swallow the fruits whole, carrying the seeds with them and inadvertently sowing them in the newly opened clearings under the canopy. This action quietly and naturally helps to restore the forest. The call of the turako is a loud, far-reaching sound, cutting through the forest like a sharp whistle. Unlike many long-distance flying frugivorous birds, the fisher's turako does not fly far, but instead hops short distances between the branches, keeping itself in the safe space of the canopy. The low canopy whispers in the gentle breeze, but beneath the roots, a crack is widening. The woodlands of the Serengeti, once traversed by elephants like the spirits of the land, are now changing too quickly. The land has been fragmented into agricultural plots, roads, and barbed wire fences. As of 2024, over 386 square miles of semi-natural land has been converted into agricultural areas. The migration corridors of the wildebeest and zebra have been cut off. Hundreds of thousands of individuals no longer have the path they once followed. The Mara River is no longer stable. In the dry season of 2025, its flow had decreased by 35% compared to 2 decades ago. Bushmeat has become a growing crisis. Each year, about 140,000 wildebeest are hunted. The lions are losing their prey, and the balance between predator and prey is quietly beginning to crumble. Meanwhile, tourism continues to grow, but the new roads, resorts, and engine noise are pushing the wildlife further away. On their ancestral lands, the Maasai are being displaced to make way for tourism and carbon projects. The Serengeti is still breathing, but that breath has become shorter. Beneath the fallen leaves of the Serengeti woodland, the signals of life are still being sent. Every hour, 11 monitoring devices placed along the Mara River record changes in water level, temperature, and humidity. These numbers inform the conservation decisions on the ground. The adaptive management system implemented by the Serengeti Biodiversity Program since 2024 has created a bridge between research and action. At the same time, the patrol teams have removed 535 snares in just 1 year. No elephants were successfully poached. In the communities bordering the woodland, nearly 60% of the residents confirm that poaching has markedly decreased thanks to the coordination between the rangers and the local villages. On the legal front, a ruling by the East African Court of Justice once halted a plan to build a highway through the Serengeti, preserving the ancient habitat structure of the region. But with the support and solidarity of more individuals, these woodlands can recover faster, and the hardships that the wildlife faces can be lessened even more. Have you ever set foot in the woodlands of the Serengeti? Do not hesitate to share your knowledge and experiences in the comments section below. Your words can become a source of inspiration and motivation for the tireless efforts to protect nature and its endangered animals.